Huh. All right, let's see if that fixes anything. Maybe it's the microphone. I think it's the mic. John, if you're still here with me, and you can let me know. Otherwise, I'm just gonna take this whole stream down if it's not gonna work. So yeah, it's perfect now. All right, perfect. Thank you so much, buddy. All right, so Fables. I started a little bit late, 5 minutes late. So you will have to excuse me on that. I am currently trying to set up some Wi-Fi extenders or repeaters or whatever they're called, and it's been a pain in the butt, and I cannot get it to work, and it frustrated me, and it took up way too much of my time, and it was actually close to 9 p.m. I'm like, no, I gotta stop because I have a commitment. I gotta do the live stream for you guys. So yeah, forget that. I'll try it at a later point in time. I don't know. But what we are here for is Fables, and I gotta hurry it up because I know YouTube has a very short attention span. So, Fables Oversized Hardcover Volume 7. I have a list here of the story title names because when I'm reading the book, I usually don't pay attention to the names of each individual arc because I have it here with me in my hand, the full collected edition, right? So you'll have to excuse me on that. But this book, Volume 7, collects issues 52 all the way to 59, then it skips around and collects issue 64. I'll explain why it skips that in a little bit. So we are going to go to issue 52, right? Which is Sons of Empire. And it picks up where we left off with the title. Let me take this slipcover off right here. These images just continue to astound me and how beautiful these front covers are. Man, I mean, look at that. That is really awesome. And what we see here, oh, that sounds so. Oh, okay. Anyways, so, oh man, dude, no, John, you don't have to do that, man. No, thank you so much, bro. I gotta highlight it. That's tradition around YouTube, but you did not have to. Thank you so much for the Wi-Fi fund. Thank you, man. I am shocked, a little befuddled, and yeah, really appreciate that. Um, wow. Oh, all right. You just threw me for a loop there. Thank you so much. So yeah, here is Fables Oversized Hardcover Volume 7. And we begin where we left off with Volume 6, where we had that surprise attack from Bigby that was planned, obviously, from the Fabletown community to sort of strike down Geppetto's forest and house, the workshop, and all that stuff. So obviously, the adversary is going to respond, and we get that in the form of like the War Council Alliance or whatnot. And you see all the different characters here that are assembling for that. You have the Emperor himself, and you have the Snow Queen, and the Gnome King, and of course the Inquisitor, General Hansel. At first, I didn't recognize it was Hansel from Hansel and Gretel, which was a really sweet surprise. I'm like, oh, okay, that's interesting. But once you get to the explanation as to why he is there and why he's doing the thing that he's doing, it all makes perfect sense. And he's a mean son of a gun. So the issues are, for the most part, it's the same creative team, obviously, but you have two ongoing stories at the same time, which is pretty interesting. Goes back and forth between uh, all the bad guys, and then we switch to Fabletown right there with the good guys. So it does that a lot throughout the book. The council has this very interesting sorry, this proposition to strike back at the Fables and the Mundies themselves. And the plan is actually pretty friggin' interesting. You have this here is Lumi, the Snow Queen, which She is terrifying. I love that character so much, but she's terrifying. And basically, the plan. Let me see if I can find the panel for you guys. The plan involves releasing all the plagues and viruses and all that stuff to strike at the whole world and cripple society, not just the fables, but the Mondays themselves. And this was really terrifying, but at the same time, you have the counter argument. You have all the plagues here, plague of fire, famine, war, all that stuff. And one of the counter arguments is from Pinocchio, and he's obviously lived with the fables and the Mondays, so he knows what people are capable of. So he knows that an attack like that will unite everybody together, and they will all of humanity will strike back along with the fables in an unprecedented way with war and bombs and nuclear bombs and guns overall. It's going to be a hellish experience. So he strongly advises for them to not go down that route. So it was really interesting to see the council sort of take a look at what was being explained by Pinocchio and go like, "Oh, okay, I we should think this through before doing a blitzkrieg style attack on the enemy." So they put a brief halt in it, and the solution is really brilliant: is to send an envoy ambassador, and that is Hansel as the adversary's ambassador in Fabletown. So we do get that explanation, and it makes sense that he is angry at what happened when he was a kid with the witch and with him and Gretel. So he holds that grudge and he has a deep hatred for witches. So it makes sense that he would become an inquisitor. And once he moves to our world, he took part in all the witch hunts, whether it's in Europe or Salem, all that stuff. And that's just awesome that you take. I mean, sucks for all the innocent victims, but it's awesome that you can take a concept from real life and apply it to this book and sort of do it in an effortless way. I think that's one of the strong points of the series overall, that you're able to sort of blend a myth, folklore, and all that stuff with fiction and reality, and sort of expand on that and give us something unique. I think that's one of the, or at least to me, that's one of the strong points for Fables that I really enjoy. So he's going to be the ambassador. Obviously, Fabletown is upset. Prince Charming has no idea. He didn't even know what was happening. He was woken up at the middle of the night, and he met Hansel firsthand and decides to, no expense, just get everybody involved and tag these guys, these ambassadors, 24/7, and find out what they're doing without being noticed, and try to get the one up on them and get the upper hand, I should say. So that is sort of where that story goes. I mean, by the way, this is one of the coolest covers. It is so sick and demented, but it's beautiful. I love that so much. You get the full explanation right here. And I mean, for such a beloved fairy tale character, he turned out to be quite the mysterious and evil looking dude, if I may say. So, yeah, you see them discussing what they're going to do. And of course, the new ambassador is trying to get an apartment near Fabletown so they can monitor the enemy. And you know that things are going to go down. Here we have the explanation that I was talking about with Hansel and Gretel and the witch. And as the story progresses, there are a couple short stories in this mini arc of Sons of Empire, which sort of explain little things about characters that you wouldn't necessarily think about. You don't really know about what A or B or friggin' Rapunzel is doing, so you get a short story explaining why she keeps getting her hair cut in Fabletown, which I thought that was pretty funny and kind of awesome that you would expand your world like that. The world building is fantastic on this, and Willingham just knows what he's doing. He's touching every corner of the Fables universe and giving us a really cool look at all these characters. So as the story progresses here, we move. Oh, here is the issue where we get the explanation from Pinocchio that if um, if they do the attack, they're in for a world of trouble from the humans because obviously we're kind of the masters of destruction, if you will. We will bomb the crap out of the promised fabled lands and all that stuff. So that's probably not a good idea. And I also like that it mirrors the previous issue and it shows you sort of the what if aftermath. Like, what if they did the whole plague thing? Not every human would die, some would survive and they would rally and do this. Like, what would happen? Here we see a potential what if when Bigby convinces the world military leaders to strike back, and you see the outcome using the genie to climb up the beanstalk and use their biggest tactical advantage, which is the Sky Kingdom, to invade the adversary and all that stuff. So look at that. That's really cool. So we do get those issues, and then we move on to probably so far my second favorite issue out of everything related to this series, and it is of course the Christmas issue. This was awesome. I didn't know I was going to be reading a Christmas issue. Uh, you see little Jack Horner right here trying to sneak in and steal Santa Claus's naughty list because he thinks he can extort that, sell it to the highest bidders, and he's selling information and doxing everybody, so he'll become rich beyond belief. So here's the actual story of Jiminy Christmas, and you have, of course, Snow White and Bigby's kids, all five of them, right? Oh, no, all the six kids. I keep forgetting the number. All six of them getting ready for Christmas, and Snow White tells them that obviously, was it Snow White that tells them about Santa, or was it Rose? Either way, the kids are going to be on the lookout for. Oh, it's Rose. Yeah, Rose does use the magic carpet. That's the main transport on the Wolf. What was it called? The Wolf Valley, where all the where the house for Bigby and Snow White is. So yeah, they use that to transport around, and she tells the kids that obviously Santa, if one of them stays up and talks to him, they will get the answer, but that kid won't get the presents. So the kids come up with a solution. They pick one of their own to stay awake and wait for Santa to ask him the questions about how he does his gift givings and all that stuff. And they, of course, I keep forgetting the name of the kid, and I'm a bad reviewer. Son of a gun. Amber Rose, I think that was his name. Uh, yeah, right. Okay, give me a second. Shoot, Ambrose. Sorry, Ambrose. So Ambrose is the one that stays awake and meets Santa, and Santa has a really cool explanation. I wasn't aware that he was a freaking fable, but it definitely makes sense, and he's probably the strongest, the most OP out of every single fable in this book. Because he can basically teleport and be a sentient being across the entire universe world and deliver presents at the same time in every single house, which makes sense with what we believe when we were kids, right? On Christmas. And he's able to deliver the gifts and talk to Ambrose at the same time. And at the end, Ambrose, of course, he's tiny. He's a little kid, so he does fall asleep, and they do get their presents. But probably one of the most beautiful, tragic moments that comes from this issue, it's super sad, but I loved it, was when he, of course, visits Flycatcher, as you can see right here. Flycatcher previously at the start of the book was shocked to see Red Riding Hood get her makeover, and she gave him a kiss, if I remember correctly, and turned him back into a frog by mistake. So now that he's a frog, he can't really express anything, and he sort of reverted back to his frog form, obviously, and he can't really remember stuff or to turn back into his human self. So Santa Claus facilitates that and brings a visitor, which turns out to be his deceased wife, in a spine tingling moment. I love this. It gave me the goosebumps. It was beautiful and sad at the same time. She is able to revert him back to human form, and in the process, he regains his memories and what happened. And he's so conflicted and he's so angry at Saint Nick for what happened. And his answer is, a great war is coming, and when it does, many full worlds will die, perhaps including this one, unless you alone have the strength and will to do the hard and terrible things that need to be done. You can save them all, or most, or some, maybe. That is some really awesome stuff. You get some really heartwarming moments and tragic stuff like this. That balance of both is what I love most about Fables. So after that, and don't worry, I see some comments. I'll get to that in a second. Um, I do like that we get a nice little message here from the whole creative team, wishing everybody a Christmas, Merry Christmas, and I will definitely be revisiting this for many Christmases from now on because I love this issue so much. Bigby, of course, has a really nice exchange with Saint Nick. And then the book sort of goes into another important storyline, which is father and son. Here is the cover. And the one thing that Snow wants them to do as a family is to visit uh, Bigby's father. Now we get a guest artist in the famous and amazingly talented Mike Allred. I have to admit, I'm not the biggest fan of Allred's art in this book. I thought it was a little bit too staticky for its own good. The characters, he was drawing movement, but it didn't flow all that well. I guess I was just accustomed to uh, the previous artist, Buckingham, right? Mark Buckingham. So they do visit Bigby's father, and while they're staying in the castle, uh, Bigby, before the main dinner, Bigby has the idea to for the kids to practice their first hunt under the supervision, careful supervision, and all that stuff. They've trained for it, so now he wants to see if they're up to it. And Ambrose doesn't follow the protocol and gets lost, and instead finds himself in trouble with some monsters. Turns out these monsters are actually Bigby's siblings that have learned to shapeshift into monsters and all that stuff. And good old dad is disappointed in them, and they can't turn back. So they are trying to. At first, I want to believe they didn't want to do it, but then again, who knows? So they wanted to eat Ambrose or hunt him down, and it takes Bigby to realize what's happening and transform, join in, and take care of the situation, and wrestle his brothers down, and sort of become the alpha dog, if you will, and make everybody else submit. So here's what I mean. I'm so used to the art in the previous issues that I love Allred. He's one of my favorites, but it was such a shock to me. And the movement and symmetry between the characters, I don't know, it felt a little bit off. But it does look beautiful because I love that art. So the main purpose, I guess, for this story is that Bigby has ulterior motives. He doesn't really love his father at all, and he's going to take this opportunity to get his dad to get the wind Zephyrs. I think I said that right. To use them for the upcoming war because they would be excellent invisible soldiers to invade the adversary's army and take some people down, right? So after that, the story just goes into a chapter which probably is my least favorite. I mean, we did have this one from issue 64 where the writing team asked the fans at the time to submit their questions of things that they wanted to see, or lingering questions about the world of Fables in in the comic, obviously, and they did one shots, mini one shots based on their questions. For example, Eduardo Blake from Buenos Aires asked, "Did Hakim ever manage to get a regular job?" Hakim being one of the Arab fables, and you see that resolution there. And it goes on and so forth. Not every single one was my favorite. It was just a funny little extra thing. Wasn't really my thing. And we finish off this story with a really cool development in that the kids, Snow White and Bigby's kids, finally learn about Ghost, the seventh sibling, and that was really awesome. A secret pact between all of them. Obviously, nobody can find out, and they start bonding right away. Not a huge fan at all of the art. This really took me out of the story. I'm usually okay with stuff like this, but again, when you go from this, I don't know if you can see it that well. If you go from that to here's some more beautiful artwork, and then you switch to all red, to then go to this, which is obviously very 90s Nick inspired slash American manga sensibility. It's a weird mashup, and I wasn't necessarily a huge fan of it. But yeah, that's sort of where the story ends. Now, it does skip a few issues, like I said earlier, 60 through 63, which is a very major storyline that is in the next hardcover. And I get it because you're tying the Christmas and the festivities and all that stuff together, and not breaking it up by having a super serious story with the revelation of Ghost and all that stuff, right? So it makes sense for them to take those issues out and put them in Volume 8. So when we do Volume 8, we'll obviously talk about that stuff as well. So what did I think overall? The inconsistent art, not necessarily my thing. The story just continues to excel, and some really heartwarming, heart wrenching stuff. A good balance of comedy, drama, and wholesomeness in this seventh volume. The idea of expanding and seeing things from the villain's perspective, genius. I love that so much. Fantastic. And of course, the Christmas issue. Just what do the kids say? Just a pure chef's kiss. I loved it so much. Probably one of my favorites. So overall, the series just continues to impress. That was my first time reading that stuff, so I'm really excited for Volume 8 and so on and so forth. So yeah, so that is sort of my discussion, brief review on Fables Oversized Hardcover Volume 7. Have you guys read Volume 7, that material that I talked about up to issue 64? Let me know in the comment section down below. So that's my review for it. Again, let me take this down because we're kind of done there, right? So first off, again, John, thank you so much. This is my very first ever, I'm saying it wrong, but whatever. This is my very first super chat, and that is so awesome, man. I'm still shocked by it, and thank you so much. I'm speechless about it. Tyler, oh man, that's an expensive book. Is that the one that's? Um, is this the one that's out of print? Volume 7. Is that the one? I thought it was Volume 6. Um, let me check real quick, real time here. Go to eBay to laugh about it. Fables hardcover, Volume 7. Okay, so these are just eBay prices. Oh my goodness, 300 bucks. Are you kidding me? Holy smokes. Oh, okay. Wow. Uh, you guys weren't kidding. Let me for anybody that's new, let me share my screen here. Uh, yeah. Okay. So look at those listings. 150, 330, 300, 260. Let's do the sold listings, right? Sold items. Wow, people are actually buying this book at that price. That is insane. Look at that, $275, 260, 200 bucks, $350. Oh, $10 shipping. That's a saving right there. 250, 186. That is too much. I mean, what was his retail price? $30. Jesus. I mean, I wouldn't do that. I mean, thankfully, thankfully we're getting the what do you call it? We're getting the compendium, right? And the compendium has how many issues? Was it 60 issues or 30? I don't know. Let's check. All right, so Fables Compendium Volume 1. Soft cover, unfortunately, and I cannot find it. What is happening? Uh, Let me get rid of Volume 1. Oh, Compendium 1, not just Volume 1. Oh, okay. So Compendium 2 is already solicited. I did not know that. Interesting. So Compendium 2 has 42 all the way up to 81 and Peter and Max of Fables novel hardcover. So the contents of Volume 7 will be let me share the screen with everybody. Give me a second here. Okay, go back. Huh. Give me a second, guys. Hold on. My internet is acting out. All right, here we go. So I'm going to stop sharing this. I enjoy Fables, but that is just way too much. No, don't ever pay those prices. That is ridiculous. Uh, Chrome tab, and let's do this thing right here. So as you can see, that is the Amazon listing for Fables Compendium 2, and it's supposed to come out May 11th, 2021, collecting, ending with the story Dark Ages taking place post-war, but if the Fables knew the consequences, yada yada, collects Fables 42 to 81, and Peter and Max Fables novel. So that would be, shoot, 81 would be the Dark Ages. So the second compendium would cover up to volume 9. So the two compendiums cover 9 oversized hardcovers, and then I would assume the third one would no, I don't think a third one would finish it, but it would be close to finishing it. I think it's going to be 4 compendiums long, probably, because Fables does have a lot of spin-off novel hardcovers, graphic novels, I should say. So I think it should be 4 compendiums. But yeah, wait for that or read it digitally. That is my solution to all of this. Do not ever pay triple, quadruple the amount for something. It's out of print, unfortunately. That is a shame. I was lucky enough, blessed enough to get it when it first came out. But don't do that. don't go that route. Read it digitally, and when the compendium comes out, get that. Or I'm not sponsored by anybody, so I can say it. Take those compendium editions and bound them into like one fat omnibus. Because why the hell not? You can do that. Get the 2 compendiums and make one chunky Fable book. Yeah, Tyler, as much as I hate paperbacks, it looks like that will be my only option for this series. Unfortunately, man. Unless they go crazy one day, because DC kind of goes crazy at times, and they think, oh, we'll do like a omnibus. But probably the best idea is to make a custom hardcover. Yep, that's what I would do. Yeah. I don't know how custom binding works. I know my friends at the Omnibus Collectors Network, they're going to do a show on Sunday about custom bound books. I think that's the plan. I don't know. I'm not too sure, but they were talking about it, so you might want to tune in for that. I have no idea how you make one of those. Obviously, I know the process, but I've never bothered with that. But that would be a good strategy for Fables. Hey, bro. Janelle's in the house. It's been a long time since I watched one of your streams. Thank you so much, buddy. I appreciate that. The announcement. Let's do the announcement because this was supposed to be a quick stream, just reviewing the book. Uh, from now on, and I don't want to jinx myself because I've done this in the past in this channel where I announce things on air and just stuff happens, which is unfortunate, and I end up altering everything. But if you've noticed, for the past few weeks, I've been consistently uploading stuff Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and my channel tends to cover anime, comics, and manga. So the strategy going forward for the rest of the year, sort of a exercise to see if it works, that is going to be the schedule from now on. That's the announcement. I am going to be uploading a manga themed video on Mondays, a anime themed video on Wednesdays, and then on Fridays, if it's not pre-recorded, I'll probably do live streams every Friday talking about a comic, whether it's a digital comic that I've read or one from my physical collection. So yeah, I think that is good because I do want to make more and more content. Obviously, I was struggling a little bit earlier this year and trying to put out at least one video per week, but I want to do more. I have the time. I just need to dedicate myself to doing that and sticking to that schedule. So for now, you're getting 3 doses of video and a week in geekdom on YouTube. So be happy. Also, next time, for next week, I'm going to tell you the schedule right now because I had it all figured out before this stream, and I think it's solid. All right, I owe you guys two Manga Mondays rolls of the tongue. Yeah, I want to use that Manga Mondays. That's pretty cool. Um, I owe you guys not collector's edition. Jesus, I can't talk today. I owe you guys collection tour videos or collection videos. I do them once a year. Instead, at the beginning or at the end, I do them on September because that's my birthday month. Unfortunately, that they were supposed to be uploaded this week, and I totally missed it. And I am going to film it this tomorrow or Sunday. I don't know. So next week, you're getting fingers crossed, you're getting 5 videos. I've always wanted to upload on a 5-day basis, so this is a rare treat for you guys. Look out on Monday. You're gonna get the manga and anime haul video. Tuesday, you're gonna see the collection update tour, all the collected editions of manga, all that stuff. Wednesday, I'm doing my fall 2020 seasonal update video, the review for all the fall anime shows that I watched, which was around 15 to 20 shows. So it's going to be fun. I'm going to do it live so everybody can join in. And if you've watched some of the shows, you can talk about them with me. Uh, Thursday, what was I going to do on Thursday? Thursday is my anime collection. Uh, that. I'm going to talk about all that stuff on Thursday. And then Friday, we're not going to do Fable Fridays. I've done them, I've done a few of them in a row. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a either a review or a live stream on Skyward from Image Comics, the 15 run series, 15 issues. So we're going to talk about that live or pre-recorded, probably live because I like going live next Friday. So that is the schedule. Hopefully you guys like that. And I am closing this weekend the polls for the stuff I'm going to review in October. So if you haven't, if you're watching this, you can go to my community tab here on YouTube, and I made 2 polling options. One is for manga, the other one's for anime. I put different things there for you to select which manga and anime you want me to review in the month of October. So that's going to be pretty interesting. I can tell you right now, I know there's not going to be an upset, so I'm just telling you just in case you want to vote. But I'm pretty damn certain that Pluto will be the winning manga that you guys want me to review, and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 1, the first 8 episodes, will be the anime that you guys want me to review. So Just a heads up. If you want to alter that, because there are some other alternatives, I did put some horror anime and horror manga in there to match October. So if you want to upset everybody and vote for that, you're more than welcome to. But yeah, this weekend I'm going to get started on that. So I will be ready for the last week of October. Those two videos, those two reviews will be up at the end of October. It gives me enough time to watch and read all that stuff again to make a proper video. Do we have the candidates for October's polls for next month? Uh, One of the books I'm probably going to add it again. It's probably going to be I don't know if it's going to be Slime or the Venus in the Blind Spot. One of the two, because I do want to read that and I do want to make a video about it. And the anime, I'm going to take everything off and put 4 or 5 different things because I have a lot of shows that I want to review on YouTube. And speaking of anime, I do have a couple anime videos that I'm working on. I just finished watching Apare Ranman, and I do want to make a video on that. I finished Millionaire Detective. I did watch Inuyashiki that I really want to discuss. I don't know if I'm going to do it live or not. Probably not, because I do want to do some cool graphics and stuff. But yeah, the schedule's all over the place, but it's in here. I'm not going to forget. Thank you, Tyler. Looking forward to the new schedule and videos. Thank you so much. I'm really excited. It's a new phase for the channel. I'm pretty excited about that. Any plans next month for some horror related videos, maybe around Halloween? Yes. For the Manga Collector show on the Omnibus Collectors Network, we have 3 manga streams this month instead of the usual 2. So one of the videos will be our favorite horror manga books. Another one, we will be reviewing a horror manga, which I will not spoil just yet. And the third one, I don't know what we're going to do for the third one, but we'll think of something. For my channel here on A Week in Geekdom, um, I will be talking about a manga series. Do I have that thing physically? I don't know if I have it. I don't know. I'll have to check. I forget. I forget what I have. But I'm going to do a video about some spooky books. I did read one recently that's digital only that I want to talk about. So yes, I will be doing horror themed content on the channel, and I'm bringing back the adventure. Sorry, I'm bringing back the starter pack video series that I started this month, and the second episode will be horror themed. So 5 recommendations for horror anime. So look forward to that real soon, as soon as I can get that done. So John, I totally skipped this. I'm sorry. Is it just me, or did anyone else feel that they could never trust Pinocchio in any story? Just too creepy. I like that. I like, especially in here in Fables, where he's older. I mean, he still looks the same. He's forever young, but he's such a cynic and a drunk, and I love that he's just an old man in a young body. He can't do anything about it. He's trying to change that, obviously, now that he's back with Geppetto. But I like that that he's so bitter about everything, and will drink and just act like a grumpy old dude. I like that. But yeah, you can't trust him. It's in Pinocchio's nature. It is that character's nature about lies and truth, right? So you're always questioning whether he's being truthful or not until stuff hits the fan and he's backed into a corner and reality sinks in and he starts telling the truth. So we'll see if that plays out in Fables as well. Pretty interested in that. So everybody, I've got to go. This was a ton of fun. This was a short stream. I really wanted to make that happen because I want to stay consistent with the channel and do the 2 Fable reviews per month. So next month we will be going back to Fable Fridays and talking Volume 8 and Volume 9. Really excited about that. Lots of new ideas and content that I'm brainstorming right here. and hopefully I can bring to you guys soon. So once again, thank you to everybody, Tyler, Jonel, John, everybody that tuned in. You guys are the absolute best. Thank you so much. Blessings to all. Obviously, John, thank you so much for the super chat, man. That I'm looking at it and I still can't believe it. That is fantastic, and I am not worthy. So thank you so much. I am deeply humbled by it. Thank you for helping me out with that. As for everybody else, if you're watching this later, the recorded version, let me know what you thought of Fables Oversized Hardcover Volume 7 down below and what you thought of my review for it. And if you want to get in contact with me, all the links about social media and all that stuff, it's in the description down below. So thank you, everybody, once again. You guys are amazing. I've got to go. I will catch all of you on our next broadcast.